The earliest architectural remains of the monastery church, known in Turkish as Kariye, the Chora Monastery Church, date back to the 6th century. The building is mentioned in historical sources from the 7th century onwards. The main structure was rebuilt in the 11th century by Maria Dukaina, the mother-in-law of the Byzantine Emperor Alexios III Komnenos, and it was later enlarged in 1120 by her grandson, Isaac Komnenos. The funerary chapel, known as the Paraklasian, along with many of the building's mosaics and wall paintings, were added between 1315 and 1321 by Theodorus Metachites, who served as the empire's chief treasurer at the time. After the Ottoman conquest, Chora was not immediately converted into a mosque. It was probably only after the Great Earthquake of 1509, when several nearby mosques were badly damaged, that the building was converted in 1511 by Atik Ali Pasha, one of the Grand Viziers of Sultan Bayezid II. A minaret was built in place of the bell tower, and a marble mihrab was added in the apse. Following the Great Istanbul earthquake of 1766, the building was repaired by the architect Ismail Khalifa. In 1860, it was restored again by the Greek architect Pelopidakoupas, who cleaned some of the mosaics. The figures that were revealed were then covered with wooden shutters and curtains. After further repairs in 1875 to 1876, the monument was restored once more. After the 1894 earthquake, by order of Sultan Abdulhamid II. In 1945, the building ceased to function as a mosque. After a 10-year restoration carried out by the Byzantine Institute of America, it reopened as a museum in 1955. From 2020 onwards, it was reassigned for use as a mosque. And after another long restoration, Kariye was reopened for worship and visitors in May 2024. The building's Greek name, Chora, also means a place of dwelling or a space, and the term is used for both Jesus and Mary. In the mosaics, Jesus is described in a Greek inscription as the dwelling place of the living, while Mary is described as the dwelling place of God, whom nothing can contain. In the decoration of the church, artists drew not only on the Bible, but also on texts outside the New Testament canon. We begin our tour from the inner narthexa. In the crown and a medallion, Jesus Christ can be seen. Right below him is the family tree from Adam to Jacob and Jacob's 12 sons in 2 rows. Normally in this scene, Jesus Christ is depicted with Virgin Mary on one side and John the Baptist on the other, and they ask Jesus Christ to forgive mankind. In the Chora, only Mary and Jesus are featured, and John the Baptist is not depicted. On the right and left of the mosaic, the previous donors of the building, Byzantine Prince Isakios Komnenos and Princess Maria, known as the Mary of the Mongols, can be seen. Theodorus Metachites, the treasury minister who comprehensively restored the Chora between 1315 and 1321, and had added the iconographic decorations to narthex and Paraklasian, can be seen presenting the building to Jesus Christ. At the entrance to Naos, which is currently used as the worshiping area for Muslims, on the left-hand side you can see Apostle St. Peter holding the keys to heaven in his hand. St. Paul, originally a Jewish merchant born in Tarsus, later became Christian and as a missionary was influential in expanding Christianity over a wide geographical area. In the crown, Virgin Mary and baby Jesus can be seen in a medallion. Immediately below, 16 kings from the dynasty of David And under that row, 11 names outside the genealogy are depicted. When Mary's future parents, Anne and Joachim, go to Herod's temple to make an offering as an elderly Jewish couple, their offerings are rejected by the high priest because they don't have any children. After Joachim's offerings are rejected at the temple because he has no children, he goes into the desert and shepherds mock him for being childless. The mosaic on the left side has not survived till today. On the right, while St. Anne is praying in the garden, an angel gives her the good news that they will have a child. After Annunciation to St. Anne, the couple embraces each other happily in front of the city gate because they will have a child. Mary is born in a beautiful bedroom in a house with servants. When Virgin Mary is 6 months old, she miraculously takes 7 steps and walks towards her mother. On Virgin Mary's first birthday, her father Joachim invites the priests, who then bless the child. In fact, a ceremony held for boys is performed for Virgin Mary. Baby Mary is embraced and loved by her mother Anne and father Joachim. When Mary is 3 years old, she is presented to the temple and welcomed by the high priest Zachariah. She is fed by an angel in the holiest place of the temple and stays there until she's 12 years old. Mary is fed by an angel during her stay in the temple. Virgins coming from David's line draw lots to get wool to weave a veil for the temple, and Virgin Mary gets royal colors by lot. Zachariah is informed by an angel that Virgin Mary must get engaged to a widower in town. Zachariah puts rods of suitors on the altar and prays in front of them. The widower to take Virgin Mary's hand is revealed as a result of a miracle. The rod belonging to Joseph starts to sprout with green leaves, so Virgin Mary is entrusted to Joseph. He says that he is too old to get married to Virgin Mary. He will be the laughing stock. But the high priest Zachariah convinces him that this is his duty in life. Joseph and his son from his previous marriage take Virgin Mary home. While Mary is getting water from a well, an angel announces her pregnancy. In the first scene, Joseph and his son leave Virgin Mary alone for 6 months to work in a construction. In the second scene, when they come back, they find Virgin Mary pregnant. On the left in his dream, an angel informs Joseph that Virgin Mary is innocent. In the background, Virgin Mary, pregnant with Jesus Christ, visits Elizabeth, who is pregnant with St. John the Baptist. And on the right, we can see Journey to Bethlehem. A census will be held at the time of Roman Emperor Augustus, and everyone has to go back to their hometown. Joseph, Virgin Mary, and Joseph's son from his first marriage go to Bethlehem for the census. Virgin Mary and Joseph get registered for taxation before the governor of Syria. Mary gives birth to Jesus Christ in a cave, and the ox and the donkey keep the baby warm with their breath. On the left, angels witness the birth. On the right, an angel tells shepherds that the baby is sleeping and that they should not make noise. On the left side, the midwife and her friend Salome bathing the baby can be seen. The Magi see the rise of the star in the east on the left. On the right, they tell King Herod that the Messiah is born. Herod questions the priests and scribes to find out the whereabouts of Christ. Only the Greek inscription is visible. The mosaics have not survived. On the right side of the wall, the idols in a pagan temple are destroyed while the Holy Family flees to Egypt thanks to an angel's warning. When Herod finds out that the Magi found the Messiah and returned to their country, he becomes angry and orders all boys up to the age of 2 to be massacred. The central part of the scene and its inscription have not survived till today. Mothers whose sons are killed mourn their loss, holding the dead bodies on their laps. While Elizabeth and the baby St. John the Baptist are running away from the Roman soldiers, a mountain opens up and provides them a safe shelter. An angel tells Joseph that they can go back to Jesus Christ. Joseph and Virgin Mary return to Nazareth. When Jesus turns 12, the Holy Family goes to Jerusalem for the Passover, as they do every year. When Jesus turns 12, the Holy Family goes to Jerusalem for the Passover, as they do every year. Jesus Christ goes to the desert for 40 days and nights. Satan tries to tempt him by offering the kingdoms of the earth. He takes Jesus to a high place and says, "What? If you are the Son of God, your Father will save you." Jesus resists temptation by Satan. At the wedding at Cana, as wine runs out, Jesus fills 6 jars with water, and water turns into wine. Jesus multiplies loaves and feeds 5,000 people. Remaining bread is filled into baskets. As the church building is dedicated to Jesus Christ, his depiction as the ruler of the universe is very large. There's a Greek inscription saying "Land of the Living" on both sides of Jesus Christ. Virgin Mary with baby Jesus Christ opens her arms. There are 2 angels on either side kneeling in front of her. The inscription refers to Virgin Mary as the dwelling place of the uncontainable. The mosaics in this section have not survived to the present day, and from the remaining pieces it is understood that there are scenes of Jesus healing the paraplegic in Capharnaum, Jesus healing the paraplegic at the pool of Bethesda, the paraplegic carrying his mattress, and the Samaritan woman by the well. Jesus heals a blind and mute man who has a walking stick to show his blindness and who points out to his ear to tell he's mute. Jesus heals 2 blind people. They have a walking stick to show their blindness. Jesus heals St. Peter's mother-in-law who has a fever. Jesus heals the woman who has been bleeding for 12 years and who believes that if she touches Jesus' skirt, she will be healed. Jesus tells the man with a withered hand to stretch out his arm and heals him. Jesus reaches out and touches the man with leprosy and heals him. Jesus heals many people with different problems. Jesus is depicted with the manuscript that writes, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Gospel of Matthew 11:28. Virgin Mary is depicted holding the baby Jesus in her arms and pointing at Jesus with one hand. While Mary falls into the sleep of death, Jesus descends from the sky, and the baby he holds in his arms represents Mary's innocent soul. The apostles around the bed witness the event. While Jesus is on the cross in the land of the dead, Satan and Hades lock the doors to prevent Jesus from entering. But Jesus breaks the limbo and enters Hades and ties Satan up. He is holding hands with Adam and Eve, taking them out of their graves. Behind Eve, Abel the Good Shepherd, and behind Adam, along with St. John the Baptist, 2 former Jewish kings, David and Solomon, can be seen. There are 6 important church fathers just below the anastasis. Next to the figure thought to be St. Nicholas on the far left, St. Athanasios, St. John Chrysostomos, St. Basileos, St. Gregorios, and St. Kyrillios of Alexandria can be seen respectively. Towards the right, Jesus helps a widow who lost her only son and resurrects him during his funeral. Jesus resurrects the recently dead daughter of the synagogue manager Jairus. The medallion on the arch depicts Archangel Michael. In the crown, scroll of heaven can be seen. In the eastern half of the dome, we see the crowded Last Judgment scene where Jesus Christ is in the middle, with Virgin Mary and St. John the Baptist on both sides, with people waiting to be judged. Under his feet, there is the river of fire representing hell. Just below, Adam and Eve prostrating before the empty throne of Christ, and the weighing and condemnation of souls can be seen. The choirs of the elect are depicted in the western half of the dome. Everyone who died on land or at sea are revealed. A poor beggar named Lazarus would eat leftovers from the rich man's table. When they both die, Lazarus is depicted as a baby in Abraham's bosom. The rich man is seen burning in hell. He wants water from Lazarus, but his request is rejected. An angel guides Lazarus's soul towards heaven. The young boy is also interpreted as the soul of Theodore Metachites, the benefactor of the building. On the left side of the window, 4 scenes depict the torments of hell, the unquenchable fire, outer darkness, worms that never sleep, and the gnashing of teeth. St. Peter leads the elect into paradise. Inside, the good thief and Virgin Mary with 2 angels can be seen. The Old Testament scenes in the Paraklesion are associated with the Virgin Mary and are seen as foreshadowings of her. One of these is God speaking to Moses through the burning bush. The Virgin Mary is the burning bush because she gave birth to Jesus Christ, the Logos. Therefore, the burning bush features an image of the Virgin Mary on a medallion. The Ark of Covenant is seen as a prefiguration of Mary, as it is a wooden chest containing the Word of God. Virgin Mary carried Logos in her womb, so the Ark of Covenant is another prefiguration. She is depicted in a medallion on the Ark. The 7-branch candelabra, the menorah, and the vase containing holy bread sent by God are considered as prefigurations of Mary. In the Akathistos hymn, which is an incredibly important hymn for Greek Orthodox Christians glorifying Virgin Mary, she is identified as the ultimate source of light. Mary is seen as the box of God's wisdom. So she is identified with the wise King Solomon in the Old Testament. The Ark of the Covenant, being placed in the holiest place in the temple, is identified with Virgin Mary, because as mentioned in the hymn Akathistos, Virgin Mary is the living temple, the holiest of all holies. Jacob's ladder, another Old Testament story, is seen as a prefiguration of Virgin Mary, as she herself is the ladder that helped God coming down to earth. On top of the ladder, there is a depiction of Virgin Mary in a medallion. In the Akathistos hymn, Virgin Mary is compared to a celestial and earthly ladder. Aaron and his sons are divinely ordained as temple priests, just like Joseph the carpenter taking Virgin Mary's hand is revealed due to a miracle. When they present their offerings to God, they are seen as a prefiguration of the Magi giving Virgin Mary gifts. The altar itself is a prefiguration of Virgin Mary as well. In the Old Testament, according to Isaiah's prophecy, God's angel fights against Assyrians and kills them in front of the gates of Jerusalem. There is a depiction of Virgin Mary in a niche on the city gate. In the dome, Virgin Mary with baby Jesus Christ is placed above angels. On the pendentives of the dome, 4 hymnographers who wrote hymns praising and glorifying Virgin Mary can be seen. Their names are John of Damascus, his student Cosmas, Joseph the poet, and Theophanes,